From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport. And driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pot on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. Danny's here, birthday celebration. How'd it go the rest of the weekend?
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah? I mean, I know it was Tuesday.
We really didn't like do
It was
much.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
But, I mean, sometimes it stretches on. You can't really party on a Wednesday.
Yeah, we didn't really,
We really partied on a Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
He's twisted a little bit. It must be on crumble detox.
Oh, yeah.
No? No,
How many crumble cookies have you had since Wednesday?
All of them.
three.
Three
I
more?
had three more. That was it.
Three more.
Yeah, that's it. After tomorrow, I'm going on a detox till Memorial Day. Serious.
I feel like that's a
No
lie.
sugar. No sugar till
That's
Memorial
funny.
Day.
That's a lie.
And Kevin went to see Jamie Lissau at the Comedy at the Carlson.
Had a great time.
Yeah, he did it.
They put Greg Connors right in the very front row. He
They
was
did.
the first seat under Jamie's pecker.
Wow. And how did that go?
It was great.
No, Jamie didn't really
Jamie didn't do any
much
crowd. I was
yeah.
surprised Jamie didn't do any crowd work. He just hit
No.
the eclipse.
No. And Deputy Hurley, Brendan Hurley, is here from the Sheriff's Department because the eclipse is coming.
Wait, there's something coming?
Well, we were talking before he came on. He said, yeah, tomorrow is a 12-hour shift is mandatory for all sheriff's deputies, right?
Yep.
And then you also said that you'll be on Channel 13 tomorrow morning, which is the local ABC affiliate, to tell people to mind their P's and Q's.
Yeah, definitely sharing those last minute tips on.
What are the tips? Like, what are we supposed to be doing? Like,
So, the nice thing about this eclipse is we knew it was coming.
Yes.
Right? And so many things in law enforcement, we just don't have any idea. So it was nice to have about a year to plan for this thing and then everything else that could happen. So from our end, it's trying to keep that continuity of services. There's an eclipse tomorrow. Everybody knows about it.
Right.
But that means the heart attacks are still going to happen, overdoses, crime, everything's still going to happen along with the eclipse. So now we have to manage the influx of people coming here with traffic, which is going to lead to potentially more accidents. And managing that same level of care that we give people when, we respond to crime. So it's extra deputies, extra time, trying to just strategically station them throughout the county.
Did Monroe County declare an emergency? I know Wayne County did, and I thought some other surrounding counties did. And Niagara did. And I think they did that to get more state aid, right? Because that was there. And now Niagara is like the epicenter of where this is going to be. It's not Brockport anymore. It's
the sun shifted
slightly.
I don't think Monroe County has. They may have. I'm not sure. I didn't see anything saying.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything either at all.
So what's best case? Obviously, we know best case scenario is nothing happens. What's worst case?
Well, worst case scenario is a lot of people, a lot of traffic, a bunch of accidents clogging up the highways, and then something else happens, right? Some worst day scenario, even if there isn't an eclipse. So,
Coyotes.
Yeah, coyotes.
Well, no, the animals come out. They think it's night. Those nocturnal animals. I'm not joking, man.
Look at this. There's something I never even thought of. But you might be right.
Yeah, like nocturnal animals were like, they'll be like, imagine okay, my father used to work third shift once in a while, and if Papa Bear woke up at the wrong time when he got home, he was in a mood the rest of the week. Just one day, if he was off or asleep, right? Don't wake your father. Wait, what's going on out there? Day was shot, right? There's all these animals, right? They're sleeping, they're nocturnal, and all of a sudden, it's dark out.
Yeah.
Hey, we should be out doing what we do. Yeah. So they get out there, they see all of a sudden we got a problem.
So don't watch the eclipse at the zoo. Is that the takeaway from this, Dan?
That actually would be a great place to watch it because they're all caged.
It's funny because people will call all the time, especially when I work days, and it'd be like, hey, it's noon and there's a skunk out.
Yeah.
Or there's a raccoon or whatever, and they're nocturnal. It's like, you ever wake up in the middle of the night and have to pee?
Yeah. It's like
sometimes that's what they're doing.
It just
right?
happens, right?
Yeah.
Superman
they're not foaming. They're not
foaming
and
at the
doing
mouth or
circles
chasing
Yeah,
people
exactly.
or whatever. Hey, why don't you go out and try to pet it?
Didn't work so well in Hershey.
No, it didn't. Oh my God! Did anybody see that?
No.
It's funny, but so Hershey just opened the park. Last weekend?
Yeah.
And it might have, last weekend, and a raccoon started to attack people waiting online for a ride. Started running around, so somebody's trying to kick it, and it got some kid's shoe.
Bitch, I got the magic pass. Get out of my way.
It was crazy.
I've hopped up on kisses.
That was crazy. What should we be doing? Because we're going to go be part of Solar Palooza, and we'll talk to Dan Mason. I know he's got a lot going on today, but we're going to be over at Innovative Field. So I have a time that I'm going to get there and all that stuff. But
should we leave now?
Yes.
But what is traffic expected to be like? I'm thinking it's going to get heavier around noon.
Yeah. So the eclipse is supposed to start about 2:07.
Yeah.
Right, and it's going to go until I think it's about 4:23, with the total eclipse being for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So what we're advising people is, we're not 100% sure how many people are going to be here. But again, worst case scenario, there's a ton of people, a ton of traffic. Just leave early. It's like going to a Bills game, right? You don't show up when the game starts. You leave early, you plan ahead, get there plenty of time.
Right.
The other big thing is, in the studies that we did from the previous eclipses, the biggest problem is, again, it's just like a sporting event. As soon as it's over, everybody stands up and they leave.
Right.
Leave their trash.
And they've been tailgating.
Their broken tables.
490, 590, 390 are going to be a mess. So we want people to just hang out, have fun, go enjoy the eclipse, and maybe stay a little bit longer wherever you are. Let the traffic ease
dissipate.
Sheriff, say drink more. It's cool. Tomorrow, it's cool.
It's not what today is National Beer Day, by the way. And Kevin did bring in some Eclipse beers for us to try. But I want to play this ABC News piece only because they talk about what the economic impact and the number of people that they expect here in Rochester. This is from ABC News National. And it does make me wonder if we're really going to hit these numbers or not. I'm not seeing anything to indicate that. Here we go. Whoops, that's Total Eclipse of the Heart.
When we figured out we were in the path of totality, it was a light at the end of the tunnel for us. We think it's going to do wonders for our economy.
I think this is Jason
for the
Snyder
past
from
7
Blue
years, the
Wolf
city of
Bistro,
Rochester, New York, has been
talking,
preparing
and
to
then
welcome
we'll hear John
hundreds of
Erlob
thousands
as well.
of tourists to watch the total solar eclipse on April 8th. For Rochester residents, this is a once-in-a-lifetime event, since the city won't be in the path of totality for another 120 years.
And none of us will be alive when that happens again, right? I mean, that's the thing is, I think, did it happen in 1925? Is that what you told me?
I believe that's what I read was 1925 was the last one here.
It's my diet and exercise. I'll be there.
Been preparing to welcome hundreds of thousands of tourists to watch the total solar eclipse on April 8th. For Rochester residents, this is a once-in-a-lifetime event, since the city won't be in the path of totality for another 120 years.
What's going to happen here on April 8th is that we're going to be converting a whole lot of people from skeptics to eclipse chasers.
From restaurants...
Danny, do you think that's true? Look at that face. Look at that. You look like you bit into a lemon. Have some faith.
Faith, it's science. It's going to happen. It's
Some are still recovering from the pandemic.
It's not part of the locusts and the end of the world?
That's later.
Levels are still not quite the same as they used to be. The influx of tourists and dollars is certainly going to be helpful for all of the businesses that have been struggling. And, hopefully this will be the start of an upward trajectory that just keeps rising.
Now, we called the 490 Motel and the Gates Motel, and they still had vacancies.
Now, we could get a little bigger splash. The beer itself, which has been released about a month ago, is a boom already because it's selling far better than we anticipated that it would. So that's been great.
We're doing an event on Sunday night, which is an eclipse-themed karaoke, Total Eclipse of the Heart. We're hoping the eclipse will kind of spring us forward to, great sales for the summer coming out of the last few years. Restaurants have been hard hit.
The city estimates this celestial event will bring $10 to $12 million to the area in just this one weekend.
10 to 12 million
from an economic development standpoint, because the eclipse is only about 3 minutes and 38 seconds. But what we've said is, no, we want to make it 3 days and even longer. Rochester's a welcoming city. It's a great place to live. Careful. It ranks high as a place for people to come to, and we want to be able to use the eclipse as a tool to be able to say, come on back. Don't let this be your last visit.
I think that when people come here and they see everything that Rochester has to offer and they see how well prepared we are for the eclipse and how well we handle it, that they're going to be really impressed.
Okay. I would agree with all of that. I'm sure there's been meetings. I mean, they've been planning, they said, for 7 years for this, knowing it was, coming and we were in the path of totality. The bad part is we also have clouds from the lake a lot of times, and I think we're supposed to have clouds tomorrow as well.
That's what the forecast is
yeah,
showing.
the forecast is showing.
It's Rochester. You never know, right?
You never do
Wait
know.
10 minutes
Today
and we'll
was
see.
absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Today, you almost, in a way, you go, gosh, I wish it was today, because we had nothing but blue skies. I was out earlier today. My son had a track meet at U of R. I sat there for an hour and saw him do nothing because it was like just taking too long. I go, I got to go. So my mother's in town for the eclipse, and she stayed over to watch him throw his, the hammer. The weight on the end of the thing where they wing it around and throw it. Yeah. The girls were going and somebody launched it and it got stuck in the backstop way up high and it's just hanging and no one could get it down.
Oh, wow.
One guy goes, I'm putting a cone here. Don't step too close in case it does fall. That would be your total eclipse. So Deputy Hurley, I want to ask about people's behavior. Is it usually... Does it change with things like the full moon? We always hear that. And here would be my thing. I do wonder, since what percentage of our body is liquid? I think it's like 70%, right? Like that. So if the moon pulls and the gravitational pull, these are all just physical things, pulls on the oceans, is it possible that when there's a full moon that it could affect people? I don't know. I mean, we have obviously the werewolves, all that bullshit, but it does seem like human behavior changes when there's full moon.
It absolutely does.
It does.
I worked nights for probably about 10 years of my career, and you just dreaded full moons. It was busy. It's just always busier. It seemed to make, people who already struggled with mental health, it seemed to make them worse.
Okay.
Outbursts more, right? We would get more calls for that. And you just always got the craziest calls when it was a full moon. And there'd be times where it's cloudier and you're running all over the place and it's just a nutty night. And you look and you go, is it a full moon? Like, what is going on?
When I worked at WHM, started in radio in 2001, Randy Gorman, the news director at the time, goes, buddy, I know you're doing overnights the next 2 nights. It's going to be a full moon out. So be close to that scanner. Because there's be some wild stuff happening.
Okay.
And he wasn't kidding, man. That thing would pop off.
So, okay, we live in a time now where there's greater communication than ever. And a lot of times, police departments will talk to police departments in other cities. The eclipse happened in 2017. I'm going to read a piece in a little while about a woman from Rochester who was very skeptical, and her daughter was just got her license, and they made the trip, and she wasn't sure she wanted to go, and I'm glad she did go. Did you talk to people in other cities to say, what should people expect? What should we expect? Was there some kind of collaboration for people who've gone through a total eclipse before?
Every time that there's any kind of event, any police event, whatever, there's always what we call after action.
Should I be sending you questions beforehand? Because these are just coming up as I go. And
no,
I love it. You're so good on your feet. I feel bad.
This is what we do all day, every day.
All right.
They're called after action reports. So it's basically someone sits down and they fill out, hey, this is what we saw. And that's where we got the idea that traffic is the number one thing.
Sure.
Traffic is the biggest problem just because of the influx of people. Right. It doesn't seem to make people go crazy.
Okay.
Traffic seems to make people go more crazy, understandably, than the eclipse effect.
Right.
The sun doesn't seem to amplify the full moon or anything like that. But
okay.
We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we've been preparing, and we're trying to be prepared for every single possible thing that could happen.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it's interesting. I'm actually find myself, this sounds weird, but sort of excited about it because it's such an interesting thing. And I did not talk to my sister, but my mom was telling me that my sister's kids, who are very cerebral and scientific and young, and they were kind of bummed that they weren't going to be anywhere near the totality. But everybody has school and work and that sort of thing. In 2 years, it's going over Europe. They booked a trip to Portugal to see the total eclipse, to be in the path of the total eclipse in 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's really no middle ground with this. Either you're all in,
yes,
or you could give two shits.
Well, okay, so I put up a little video of the glasses I got, right? I ordered glasses, and I was telling Deputy Hurley, Rochester not listed in the path. Like they give you Erie, Pennsylvania, Buffalo. No Rochester.
No Rochester.
No Rochester.
Rochester wasn't also mentioned in The Office either, just to show you how little.
So then but when I put that up, somebody wrote me and goes, what if I don't really care about the eclipse at all?
Then go
just
to
asking for a friend. And I went, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are people like Steve Serkiu, a lawyer, who I'm sure you're familiar with. He was in here and he said, Yeah, he goes, I'm going back to Florida. I said, you're not going to stay for the eclipse? He goes, I'll close my eyes. and I'll look at the sun.
Kevin's right. It seems to be it's like politics. It's extreme now. You're either extreme one way or extreme the other. There's no middle ground. Hopefully, I mean, it's a once in a lifetime thing. So hopefully, again, enjoy it, have fun.
Right.
Be smart, be safe, be responsible. Try not to create too much work for us tomorrow would be great.
Yes.
But I'm hoping to see it. I'm excited.
Did you get your glasses?
Yeah, we got a bunch.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You see,
I made sure that I didn't get the cardboard ones, so I knew that they were mine. So I got and they were just as cheap. They're just, what are they, $9 for 3 pairs?
We got them through work. So I immediately asked Greg Connors, I go, if I put those on, take a picture that I have them on, and take them off and start to blow up my eyes, am I good? Do we have a case? He's like, absolutely not.
Now, this will be interesting.
It's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Yeah.
By the way, Syracuse just made it. I don't know if you saw the path of the eclipse. So if you go just south of Syracuse, like if you're Binghamton, you're not going to see it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so weird how the pathway.
The path is it is that way, and I thought it was
Oswego's definitely like dead center in the path.
Yeah,
they're on the list. Buffalo's dead center.
Is that just for totality though, or like will they still see the eclipse? You'll see nothing.
Oh, it's totality. Yeah.
So you won't see totality, but you'll still see something.
You'll see a little something.
Yeah.
All these cities. I mean, there's going to be like states that like see partial eclipses and stuff like that. But these are like the cities that see like the whole thing.
And I think when it starts down in Texas, I think the totality is here.
Yeah.
I think they just see part of it. I don't think they get totality.
So Eagle Pass, Austin, Waco, Fort Worth, Fredericksburg, and Dallas all see the entire eclipse.
Yeah, Austin's got a big party going on.
Oh yeah.
Austin's always got a big party going on. Let's be honest.
Now, like there's states that are going to get like a partial eclipse, like Oklahoma. All of Texas is going to get something partial. All of Arkansas is going to get something partial. Most of Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. The only part of Pennsylvania that's going to see it is Erie, really.
Yeah, which is sort of that Buffalo. It's like that almost I-90 corridor.
Yeah,
right?
like the Long Island's not going to see anything.
Yeah.
But New York City, if there's not an earthquake or the Statue of Liberty's not getting struck by lightning, they're going to see a little something.
Nobody even cared about the earthquake.
Yeah,
I saw a video of people walking around Times Square like they didn't even know anything happened.
I asked my kid if he felt it. He had no clue.
They showed Gleyber Torres and the Yankees taking batting practice during the earthquake. He's like, "Well, let's go! Come on, I gotta finish up."
I did see so a woman who lives here, and her name is Deborah Ross. In 2017, her daughter said she was getting her license, and she said, "I want to go see the full eclipse." So she said, "I was skeptical." I knew what an eclipse was, but I didn't know what a big deal it was. She goes, it gets dark every day. I know what a shadow is, right? Why is it such a big deal? So they went just southwest of St. Louis. She did do it. And she says, when totality happened, this is what she told ABC News, when totality happened and the world around us just whooshed down to darkness, and I saw the stars come out around the sun, and it looked like this velvet hole in the sky, I was just completely transformed and taken. So after totality, I understood what a human and what a unifying kind of community experience this was. Sounds a little hippie-ish, Danny.
It does. It does. The other thing, too, is like when you get those glasses and you look at them.
Tried hard to get her.
When there's the total eclipse, you're going to see little cracks, right? Because the craters of the moon.
Yeah.
So you're going to see little like cracks around the edges of the sun. It's going to look weird because you're going to see the actual like how indented the moon really is.
Unless there's clouds, and we won't.
Well, that's why my uncle says, Dan, I'm going to tell you something. All right, this area. It's going to be cloudy. I'm telling you, we're not going to see nothing but darkness. Okay. So my wife's sitting in the car with me when he calls. It says it's going to be sunny and 60. Oh, maybe. Well, maybe you guys. I don't know about us, though.
All right. We will we'll take a moment. Deputy Hurley, feel free to hang out or whatever you've got going on. We are going to Racing Randy has been feeling neglected lately.
Yeah, I don't blame him, man.
Well, we haven't talked to him in a while, and he did text me today, said, are we going to call? And I said, yes. And I asked Kevin to put together an eclipse quiz. Like 5 things about the eclipse, true, false questions, and others that we could ask Randy and even ourselves. We can play along. And I did that's what this music was for.
Oh, okay. Are there going to be any eclipse Hallmark movies?
I don't know.
We got to ask him.
Well, we will find all that
out. I found out somebody else I know watches Hallmark movies on Saturday nights, too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We will get to that.
Very surprising.
All that next, but first.